Yes, good afternoon, peace and blessings. I just want to continue on what I usually make my content about, which is spiritual warfare, and the correlations between narcissism, being a agent of the kingdom of darkness, under full demon possession or demonic strongholds. Today I just want to, share, a message a little more lighter, a little more less heavy. Pause. I just want to talk about happiness, and the ability to gain true access to that, and how, and the ways, and also the counter of that, ways of the world, which is of the devil. People have to realize it's something that takes time to realize. We've been conditioned in this world for so long to be accustomed to things that are very demonic, so you can't really just first and foremost just put the blame solely on people to totality. But there's a certain point in our lives where we all made certain decisions that altered who we were spiritually. That's just everybody, when you're a certain age, either for the good or either for the bad. People just have to accept it, and move on and choose to accept God in your life, or hold on to the bitterness, and keep, the devil's bondage. I mean, it's simply that, we all came to a juncture in our life where our happiness was at stake, the future of our happiness. And we either chose to move on and, spiritually free ourselves, or to further entrench ourselves in demonic bondage, through hate, through jealousy, through envy, through, having a dark heart, being dark-hearted towards people, being very... the only way you could describe it is demonic. That is literally, a main function of what demons in the Bible are described as. But the true keys to happiness is exaltation of God. It's through bearing your cross. It's through the love of God, the grace of God. We are all born with the ability to access and be a vessel, and to fully embrace the Holy Spirit that comes from Yahweh. That is a blessing. That is our birthright as a human being. But it comes a point in everyone's life where they're of age, mentally, cognitively, that decisions are made that alters the trajectory of your spiritual life. We are in the physical realm. This is earth. We are in the physical world, but we are a spirit. We are a soul. That is in the spiritual realm. There's two realms. Is it the physical, which we see, feel, smell, all the five senses, and then there's also spiritual, which you do not see. To the human eye, to the naked human eye, you cannot see things of the spirit. You can't see angels and demon, God, and you can't, see those things. They're intangible because we are right now in our in our physical vessel, which is our human body. But there comes a juncture in everyone's life where you choose to accept the things in your past that may hinder you, that may, make you feel a certain way, and move on from them, use them as fuel. I have many repeated, junctures in my life where I could have went, like the analogy, I could have listened to the devil on my shoulder. They ain't, I always, not to say I'm perfect, not to say I'm better than anyone, but I just cognitively understood that, things of a positive, way, going towards a more positive steered lifestyle, more positive, outlook on life will lead to positive things building up towards your life. I just understood that before I was very spiritually enlightened as I am now, through the grace of God. I was able to, understand that even before I got really, really close into my faith, through Yahweh and through Yeshua's tutelage from the Bible and things of that sort. I just understood I can either hold on to these things, of the past, and allow them to strengthen me, allow them to be the fuel to my fire, to keep my future, better along, or I can hold on to these things and make them encase my heart in darkness and have that entrap me, which the devil seeks to do with everyone. People have to realize everyone came to a juncture in their life, wherever it may be, may be multiple. I had multiple junctures in my life. I just always chose to look at things, on the positive side. 'Cause I understood that it gets greater later. I've just never once had a moment in my life where I just was like, this is the end, this is woe is me. And I just always understood that things always get better if you allow them to. If you allow that positive, high vibrational energy in your life to manifest. Manifesting is of the devil, but you can manifest positive vibrations into your life by living positive, by thinking positive, by being a cross. Everyone came to a juncture in their life, where their spirituality was tested, and we all made decisions, not either one left or right, and people have to be accountable to that to move forward, or choose to hold on to that anger, that bitterness, that confusion, that hurt, that whatever may plague you in your vessel, and allow it to keep you entrapped and in the devil's bondage. That is the main key. The devil can't trap your soul, your vessel. He's not allowed to, because it's God's creation. You are God's creation. You are God's child. But he can trap your mind. If your mind is corrupted, your soul is corrupted. The devil, people say, sign a deal with the devil. That's foolishness. That's things for movies. That's things for Hollywood to make money from. The only thing the devil traps is your mind. And once he traps your mind, he has your soul, because your mind and soul is one. It's connected. What you think, your conscience, who you are, how you feel, is your soul. Is the very essence of you in the spiritual sense. So if the devil, has your mind, he has your soul. And, quote unquote, has your soul. It's a quote unquote contract, as they say, as they use in movies and TV references, to, make a buck off it. But, truthfully, that is all foolishness. Majority of people, of a high-ranking, quote-unquote, spiritual, or whatever, they may label themselves as, don't really understand true spiritual things, that actually matter, that actually will attribute to, progression spiritually. They just understand bare, below minimum things, things that my 12-year-old brother right now playing on Xbox can probably share talking to amongst his friends, but these are people that are put in high places in certain dark spiritual places. They know just as much as my 12-year-old, little brother right now that's talking, Xbox with his friends about all this dark stuff that's going on. It's literally foolishness. People, people put their lives in the hands of people who know just as much as a 12-year-old little boy right now, spiritually, literally. It's very sad. Just not to get off topic, I think the things in this life that are pushed, that are socially programmed to mimic happiness, it is great, nothing is wrong with having sex. That is great, between man and woman. That is something that's beautiful. It creates children. That, people have, not people, but the devil has used, this earth to pollute the things that God, created to be beautiful. Like the connection between a husband and wife, to create children was a say. The devil has polluted that. He has made it, it's destroyed. I look at the climate of things in this world that are very sexual. It's just very creepy. It's very cringy. It's just very this is very cringy. It's just sad, to see how far from grace, we have fallen, as a race. We have allowed the devil to pollute us, through these things. It's just very sad. I just feel pity for people, that have fallen under the delusions of the devil, because, you just have to just do nothing but feel sorry for them, truthfully told, and not in a better or used way. It's just because, demons are things that plague people. They're a disease. They're a cancer. They're a cancerous thing in people's lives, and it's something everyone has things to struggle with. When I was first spiritually awoken, I just, things that I say in my video, usually very harsh, usually very blunt, but I just that is not the way to go. People are very narcissistic, so which means that they're still stuck emotionally, at whatever age that they were stunted at, in their youth. So you have to talk to them, you have to baby them through God. You have to baby them with God, and it was something I was pushing back, with in the past, but I just realized that's the only way it's going to actually teach somebody is to baby them, which is sad to say, truly is a weird sentence to actually utter. But you have to baby grown people, with the Bible for them to, actually understand. Literally, it's just, that's just how the world is now. You know, everybody wants to be babied, you know, at 25 or something. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't understand it. It's just the truth. It's just where it is. It's just where this social programming, this demonic programming has led this world to be. Everyone is a childlike, mentally, emotionally, spiritually version of their adult selves. Like, it's just the truth. Truthfully. So you just have to be aware of that. And the devil, you know, he very much so succeeded in his job, which is to pollute this earth, which is to confuse the masses, which is to entrap people, which is to keep people entrapped, entrenched in their own destruction. He very much completed his mission. I wouldn't say the majority, but just, you know, very much 75% of this earth is just full of darkness, full of misery, full of sadness, full of grief, full of pain, and you know, you just see it in the spirit. You know, I can't speak for everyone, but I can see people's spirit. You know, not to be all weird, like man in a tin hat way about it. You know, all crazy, but I'm able through God, through the Holy Spirit, to see people's spirit. I don't think they are actually capable of understanding this, but I can see the spirits. I can literally see the sadness right through people with a smile on it. I can see the sadness seeping out their essence. I can just, it's just like, I can't really describe it to like someone who's not a true lover of God, who's truly connected to God, to understand, you know, these type of things. But I can like literally see people's I can literally see through the mask of what people want to show the world and see who they truly are. You know, like it's just a fact. You know, it's called the gift of discernment. It's a helper. It's sent to help you along this path of God, and it's very much so been a help to me. You know, later on in later videos, I will describe spiritual gifts and try to give my take on it. But others who make spiritual content like myself, like Mark the Messenger, and you know, many other people. I'll leave a list in the description. You know, shared the same like information on spiritual gifts and that sort. You know, but just to give a brief explanation of the gift of discernment. But you know, to not get off track, you know, people just have to understand that, you know, and then accountability is something that is hard placed in our society. It's like people don't want to be accountable for nothing that they truly actually have done themselves. You know, they just seek to, you know, push everything aside. You know, people don't want to be accountable for the things that they've done, but I've been accountable for the things that I've done for my whole life, so I don't really have a problem with just moving on and just, you know, living positive and just pushing forward. I think people are just more, I just understand psychologically, you know, and this is a psychological game with the devil. He's a very psychologically savvy person. He watches us, he understands us, you know, just like I do. I understand humans just as much as the devil does. I understand how they work, I understand their behavioral tendencies, I understand their behavioral patterns. The devil is very much informed on the human psyche and then what makes it tick, what makes it move, what corrupts it. He's very much well informed. He's an expert master theologian, because he corrupts everything of God blatantly in your face, but masked, you know, in this world. And he's also a master of psychology. He's a master at the human psyche and the things to corrupt it, the things to weaken it, the things to get you to be sleepwalking. I call it sleepwalking. You know, a lot of people are sleepwalking in this world, you know, due to coming to that junction in your life, whatever age it may have been, and choosing to hold on to certain whatever it may have been that you felt like was the end of the world or something at that time, you know, when you were a young kid or whatever. But I just never had them problems. You know, it gets greater later. Everything has a beginning and an end and a middle. You know, I just don't hold on to anything. I've never been an attached person to just things, the past, people, clothes. I'm not an attachable person. You know, only thing I say I will willfully like have an attachment to is my mother. You know, that's the only thing you can't get another one of. But anything else in this world, and God, of course, but that just goes without saying. Anything in this world can be replaced. You know, I'm just only been, you cannot replace a mother or father. You know, so that's the only things I feel myself truly, you know, in the past, present, and future, you know, being actually having an attachment to, still being attached to, but in a healthy way, in a psychologically, spiritually, you know, healthy way. I've always been attached to them very healthily. A few tweaks here and there, bumps in the road here and there, but I always just kept a steady boundary, steady, healthy, attachment to them. Those are the only true attachments that matter in this world. God calls you to honor thy father and thy mother. He doesn't say honor your society. And he doesn't say, go around killing everybody, if you don't like, but he just says honor thy mother and thy father. That's the only thing. That's the only attachment, relationship, whatever, that's highlighted, even over your wife. He says, yes, cherish your wife, but you can also come to a juncture where your wife goes against the things that God says and you have to divorce her. So obviously he understands that people that are not your mother and your father are very replaceable. I just think people get so caught up in attaching themselves to people because it comes from having a weakness of your soul, weakness of your spirit. You have to be attached to so many people because so they can distract you, from whatever may plague you, whatever these demons has got you going through, when you're by yourself, when you're just sitting in your house with no TV on, no nothing in the silence, and that you can't deal with. You have to have people. The devil has this society very much, set up. He's a very good architect, of this matrix, and how it is set to keep people in demonic bondage. He's very much a good architect at that. Not necessarily good at picking the vessels, individually, but to keep the architectural structure of it, and this and that, this has to be done, to keep people in bond. He's very much good at that. He's very much great at his job and that, not necessarily picking the vessels, because me, as being chosen one and being, a lover of God, truly connected to God, I just see, a lot of people, in demonic bondage really don't need it. They just don't need, this type of, they don't need to be part of this group. They don't really have the mental comprehension, the brain. They don't really, to do anything that is beneficial for the devil. Truly, they're just the pawns in the devil's game, just people to just add to his people. He's a people collector, but they're not really people that actually attribute anything to the actual devil. A lot, the majority aren't, just really much pawn, but they just kind of can't see it, because people are very narcissistic, so very much full of themselves and think they're, so perfect, while simultaneously being a vessel for the devil, which means you're a pawn, which means you're weak, which means you're very much foolish, it means you very much have no, I just don't want to go too far because it's going to seem like I'm judging, but I'm just blatantly telling the truth. The devil doesn't pick people that are strong. He doesn't, because anyone who is strong is not with the devil. He picks everyone that is weak, everyone that is everyone that is very much weak. He grabs you up. It's just the truth. This is what will be pushed in this world. That's just the truth. All the weak, rejects of the society that used to be rejects like 10 years ago are now suddenly bolstered into like the limelight of, the most respectable people in society. But like 10 years ago, you just were like the lamest person in the world. It's just how the devil works. That's, like I said, he's very much a good architect at this demonic structure. That is the matrix. Just not a very good person at picking vessels. He has no filter in the picking of the vessels themselves. But he's a very good architect of the structure of the matrix. Yes. I give him that much credit, but just picking the vessels is very horrible. He gets like a 3 out of 10. He's very much horrible. He just picks any old body that truly doesn't, maybe for the sins they deserve to be a demonic vessel, but just not knowledge of this stuff. I feel like very much he should just have them, this is just my personal opinion, just have them, right, just not knowing stuff because truly people, I just feel like a lot of people are demonic vessels with all this knowledge without the capability to actually attribute it to anything but foolishness. It's just the truth. It's pretty common. They can't really do anything with the spiritual power and all this because they're moron. Not to judge anybody, not to be harsh or critical, but if your life is based on nothing but things, that made you happy at 17 and you're 35, 40 something, I think you're pretty much a moron. I just believe, I think that pretty much equates that. If you're living like you're 17 still and you're 40, like I think you're pretty much a moron. And you're not, I pretty much think so. I just never was at the age of 17 and said, yo, when I become 30, I want to live like this still. I want to do everything and laugh about and live just like I was when I was 17. I very much so don't ever remember that. That's what people's whole existence is, to be, it's like they're stuck, at 10 years old mentally in a dope body. This is what you have to deal with in this world, this matrix. Very much so, narcissists, very much so childlike minded adults. And it's no judgment. It's no, when I was younger, I chose to expand my mind. I mean, it's choices this life is. It's all choices. This is chess. This is God's personal chessboard, this earth. You have to make good choices. People boasted their cars or their clothes, things you can easily gain and lose in a blink of an eye. I chose to expand my mind, something that can't be replaced when I was a child. That's all. I'm no better than anyone. I just made different choices with my time on this earth in adolescence. I just chose to very much so strengthen my mind, because I understood that clothes, money, relationships, friendships can be swapped out simultaneously every 3 months. I mean, you can swap those things out every 3 months if you wanted to. And Jesus, and I have enough time for Jesus to come back in 10 years. I'm just telling you, people's lives are very much a waste of time. They live a life that you can swap out 50,000 times. That's just the truth. I'm not trying to be harsh or critical. I'm just trying to explain the intricacies of how this matrix, this demonic world is set up for foolishness, for a hamster wheel of stagnation, not for happiness. I've watched people I've grown up with my whole life, gain whatever they thought they wanted at life at 17, a couple dollars and a nice car, some clothes, a weird, pervy sex life, whatever people are into, and then God bless, whatever they're into, whatever. That's, I'd really much rather think about other things, truth be told, but, whatever they're into personally, cool, that's fine with them. I just don't want to hear about it, and that's all, that's fine, and still not be happy, because I don't think the things the devil has to offer will make you happy. I just think they're here to just have your tongue wagging out like a dog, just be all happy for 3 minutes, and then the miserable. Once you realize, oh snap, I'm in it, then it's oh shoot, that's what this, that's what this demonic world is designed to be. Very much a hamster wheel. Everyone I ever knew in life, including my mother, gained certain things that they thought they wanted, and then when they got them, they still weren't happy. They never were happy. They weren't happy when they first got them, and they're still not happy 4 years later. They're never, because that is what this world is set up to be. You cannot be happy while taking God out of the equation. You can't be happy with things of the devil. A person whose main place is lies, misery, and he's gonna give you gifts for your happiness. I doubt that. I highly doubt that. It would to be a factual thing, but the devil has many people fooled, in the beginning to jump towards that. Then when you get accustomed to it, you realize oh snap, this kind of the matrix now. But it's either you choose to allow the devil to keep you on that hamster wheel and be complacent with it and be comfortable with it. And to each his own in this life. It's all about choices. People are entitled to their own choices. I just choose to be below middle class, and with a Bible, rather than do sin. I've seen people do everything in the world that says to sin with and be below middle class there. I could do that with a Bible. I don't really think it's necessary to jump out the window, man, and doing all this craziness to live below middle class, man. I just don't think that even makes any sense. I don't understand. And not to judge anybody, I just personally can't see how that makes any sense. How that is going to help me, in the long run, to do the same things that people do, live the same lifestyle, just with a Bible. It's the same thing. I'd rather just do it through God instead of being miserable with it. I think that just logically makes more sense. But people have to choose their own paths in life. You cannot force them. You cannot be angry at them. You just have to understand that everyone has their own perception of what life is supposed to be, whether it may be that or whether it may be the stuff that I like to do, which is be truly happy. I don't know. I can't really comprehend it truly. I can put myself in other people's shoes, but I can't think like them. But I can think how they would think and feel and act and towards certain situations, but I can't truly, think like them and make it make sense. I haven't yet to be able to get to that point where I see the things of this world and they make truly 100% sense. Because nothing in this world that is demonic makes any sense at all. It just doesn't. It's very much sad. The lives that people have to go through. The entrapment the devil has them in. But people have to realize it's very much easy to break it. It's just about wanting to. I don't think people want to displease anyone that ain't gonna give them $3 anyway. I just don't think so. People would care more about their social life and all that, but them people ain't gonna give you nothing anyway. Let's just be real. People ain't gonna just do nothing for nobody. So I don't see the point in pleasing all these people who ain't even gonna give you 3 pennies. You might as well please God and yourself. I just think that's more logical. I just think that makes more sense. I just think that is the better option. I just always want to choose the better option of life, not the BS option. Just the following and being all cool. People in this world are lovers of themselves. So how is a lover of themselves going to help you, down the line? Like another person just like you who only love themselves more than Jesus is going to help you. I just don't think that makes any sense. And it's a majority. And you get the majority of everyone in this world are lovers only of themselves more than God, more than Jesus. So you put a group of these type of people amongst each other, and it's supposed to help. That is going to help people. I very much highly doubt that. Because when has it done it yet? When has it been helpful yet? All I see is misery. All I see is well-clothed, well-driven, well-dined, well-partied up misery. That's all I see. It doesn't make any sense. I've yet to see true happiness exude from people. In 4 years of spiritual warfare, I've yet to see it. Now, I've been tempted by the devil many times, but I've yet to see the logical answer of how is this going to make me happy, the things that the devil has. How is it going to make me happy? How is it going to benefit me personally? Even generally, how will it benefit? It doesn't benefit. Things of the devil is not sustainable. People have to realize that. If you can even comprehend that word, if you, not to say people are dumb, but if you understand what that word means, truthfully, things of the devil is not sustainable. It is blatantly obvious. It's been years and it has not worked. It's been years. It's gotten worse. It has not got better. It will get worse. 5 years from now, it will be worse. It will be very much so worse than what people actually truly understand. The weight of them demons will be worse. It's just the truth. Every year, people have had been plagued with demons and being, or under, they've gotten worse. The spirit has gotten worse. It hasn't helped anyone. That is just the truth. People understand this, but they just don't understand how to break free. You have to talk to God. That's just the simplest way to explain it. You have to pray to God and ask Him, please, God, free me from this craziness. Because it is not working. It doesn't help my friends. It doesn't help my mother. It's not helping my girlfriend, my wife. It's not helping no one. It ain't helping my brother down the street. It ain't helping nobody. So please free me from this foolishness. And you have to just be sincere about it. That's all. God sees in people's hearts. He understands if you're sincere or if you just feel dumb, because you made a crazy decision, split second, and just, now you're all stuck in the Matrix. But you have to be sincere. You have to really want it. A misconception of people in this world and of people who've chosen this. I'm going to Van Moose, poof pow, fairy godmother, your demons away because I'm just, with the Holy Spirit. No, because I earned the Holy Spirit. I bled for Jesus. I did a lot of steps to be closer to God. I did things for God. People want everything easy and handed to them like a baby. That is not of God. That is for a child. I'm seeing grown adults acting like children all day. Like somebody should kiss their behind or something. for being a fool. Like I don't understand that, and I would not do it. I don't see the benefits in it anyway. It's not gonna benefit me. It ain't gonna benefit them. Like it hasn't yet, and I've been waiting. I've been waiting to see things and what the devil has to offer actually help somebody, actually make them happy. All I see was misery. All I see is misery. And 4 years later, that is what it is. That's all I see is misery. Cause I can see people's spirits. I can see how miserable they are, how scared they are, how much they wish they can be close to God again, but they just don't understand how to, or they are so far gone that they choose to hate God. It's either or. Like people are either scared, of what their society may think, for choosing to be happy, choosing to go to heaven, or they're just so angry at God that they're so far gone and they'll never be saved. It's either one, but I just choose to just understand that things in this world are a trap. Everything's a trap. You have to understand it. People, they seem to think you're going to get rich and, all this crazy get rich quick schemes. People don't even understand economics. Do you understand? Like, you know how much it would break the economy if one of us, just regular, normal, below middle class people just got suddenly rich. Like, we just got suddenly just rich. We're going to destroy the economy. Like, especially in Connecticut where I live. It don't even make no sense if people would even believe that. So that's how I don't understand people are consumers. More than, actual people with intellect, they're just gonna make somebody with no money, no family history of money, no wealth, no ability to generate more money, just suddenly, magically just rich. You're just gonna be rich. Just to mess the economy up worse. And they're just gonna let one of us, that's what the devil gonna do. He's just gonna make one of us rich just to mess up the economy more. I highly doubt it. Like, I just highly doubt it. Once you right where you at, spending your couple pennies and looking good doing it in misery. That's what he want. That's all he want. He ain't want nobody to be happy. Like, that's not the deal. You're supposed to look good, you're supposed to eat good, dress good, drive good, but you're supposed to be miserable doing it. And that's the deal. That's what the devil got for you. And that's it. Not no riches. The devil ain't got no blessings for nobody, man. That's some kid stuff. That's some fairy tale stuff, man. He got a job for you, though. And some bills. That's what he got for you. Not no riches. Not no happiness. Not no fairy tale life, man. He got a job, some misery, and a bunch of demonic friends. That's what he got for you. Bondage. That's what he got for you. and look your best doing it. That's what he got for you. That's the deal. And look your goodest doing it. And get to work. That's what the devil got for people, man. You gotta wake up and smell the coffee. Like, it's easier said than done. You can't explain, these things to people. People like 9 years old and like a 40-year-old boy. It's just crazy, to experience so much adults like that are just not on my level mentally. Like, just could never hope to be. Like, it's just a shame. But suddenly, because they have a vehicle or something, they feel like they're better than me. Like, bro, I can take $100 and get a vehicle, so I'm better than you then. I mean, and I'm smart. That just makes, I just don't understand. Like, people's concept of life just doesn't make sense. Like it's just the truth, man. You got this is Matrix, man. This is a game. This is to the devil. Our lives, like, your destruction of your life, your misery, your bondage is his personal television show. Like, and I think people seem to think that they're the star or something, but the devil was the star. He's a very jealous person. He's jealous of God himself. I don't think he's gonna let one of us simple humans, be the star. Nothing. I doubt it. Anything that you do in life demonically comes with a cost. And that's it. Peace and blessings.